Is this thing on? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Higa's Playbook, a show that talks about sports, dating, and all things life as a Seattle girl living in the Bay. Today, we're going to talk about Week 9, the Seahawks versus the Ravens, what went well, which wasn't very much, what went bad, and just kind of things that I saw throughout the entire game. Let's get into it. So the Seahawks lost 3-37, and my friends G and KJ were talking about how that was the second worst loss in their franchise history, second or third. But anyways, it was still really bad. Usually this team starts off really hot. They score 1 or 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and then they kind of fizzle out. And then the last 2 minutes of the game is when they turn it up again. And I mentioned before that we need to play all 4 quarters in order to pull off this win against the Ravens. The Ravens have Lamar Jackson. He is so athletic. He's so fast. He's so versatile. And his footwork is insane. And the amount of minutes that he was on the field versus we were on the field was insane, right? We couldn't stop him. Our defense, I don't even know what was going on. Okay, so let's just break it down a little bit. I usually break it down quarter by quarter, but today I think we're just going to talk. We're not going to break it down quarter by quarter because there's not really a lot to talk about. So we're just going to talk a little bit about stats and then the next game. We're going to keep it short and simple and concise, as my dad recommended to me. We'll talk about Geno. I know the topic of discussion for a lot of people right now is Geno. Should we bench him? Should we keep him? What is going on? I texted KJ during the game and I was like, what does he need to do? What is going on? And he said he wasn't moving. He needs to move around in the pocket because that's when he's the best. I felt like he was sitting in the pocket, not moving at all. His eyes were kind of going in this directions that he was throwing the ball, which all the defenders and all the D linemen, how many times did the ball get swatted? Too many times. Also, to a good point too, G and KJ mentioned in their podcast that it's not completely his fault. You know, football is a very team-oriented sport. If your receivers aren't catching the ball, if your linemen aren't blocking for you, if your defense isn't tackling, you're not going to win the game. So it's not completely Geno's fault. Are there things that he needs to work on and fix? Yes. I think the play calling, just the whole game plan, I just don't know what happened. Our O-line wasn't blocking. How many times did he get sacked? I don't even know. I have the numbers here somewhere, but I think we know that he got sacked too many times. The ball got batted too many times. Our offense in general, there's so many receivers that just didn't connect. I think DK had one good 50-yard reception, but that was like the only one that they had. Our defense, our blitz, our timing has been off. I said this last time. We're putting pressure on our opposing team, but the timing is off. So if the timing isn't matching up, it's just not going to work out. Mafe had a good stripped fumble, but obviously the Ravens defense was dominating us the entire time. All right, I called my dad because my dad used to play football in college. Fun fact. I called him and asked him what his opinion was about the game. And something that he mentioned that was really insightful and it was a really good point of view is that when you have quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson on the field for the amount of time that they were, your game plan needs to be to keep them off the field. Right? You don't want that quarterback to be on the field because if they are, they're just going to be running all over you like Lamar was. So the game plan is you want your own offense to be on the field a lot longer so that it tires out their defense. So it tires out their defense. But what were they doing? It was the complete opposite. If we want to talk about time of possession, wild. We had the ball for less than 20 minutes. The Ravens had the ball for over 40 minutes. So that right there just kind of shows you what the outcome of the game is going to be. We had 6 first downs. Our passing yards were 123 total yards, 123. We had 28 rushing yards. I don't even know what was happening. So that is an average of 3.2 yards per play. I think, down the line, the game was just poorly managed. Possessions of the ball, the first downs, there was just a lot going on that this game was just... It was really sad. I mean, it is just one game, right? And we did travel to the East Coast, but I think that, next week we have the Commanders at home, which Seahawks do play differently when they are at home. We are playing the Commanders. They are 4-5. They just came off of win against the Patriots, but we need a new game plan. We just need to come into this next game with a winning mentality. What does that entail? I don't know. Do they need to be inspired by somebody? I don't know, but we just have to come together as a team and figure it out. I mean, I never played football, but I used to play basketball. So it's like the same thing. It's like it's a team sport and everybody just needs to come together, and because we just got to get those numbers up. I live in San Francisco, and it's hard to even watch a Seahawks game here. And because it was at a 10 a.m. game, there weren't a lot of 10 a.m. slots. So they did show it on TV here. But because the game was so bad and because we got blown out by so much, the actual network changed the game to the Saints game. So we couldn't even finish watching the game. We literally were at a bar watching the game, but we had to finish watching it on my friend's cell phone because we couldn't watch it on the TVs. So Seahawks, I'm still rooting for you. I'm never going to be a bandwagon fan that just jumps off the bandwagon because you guys are not playing well. I have faith in you. It's a new game. It's a new slate. And so week 10, let's come out just wanting that win, right? Let's compete like Pete always says. Does Pete say compete because his name is in the word? Maybe. But let's come out looking good. Let's come out feeling good, looking good. Let's have a good practice. I know KJ mentioned one time that Gino loves the 2-minute drill. And you can totally tell when there's 2 minutes left in the half. You guys turn up that switch. So let's kind of turn it up a little bit earlier than that. Let's turn it up during the whole game, right? Let's give our defense a little bit of rest so that they can play at their best. But I don't know. Week 10, let's get it in there. And that is all I have to say. All right. Like I said before, game day fits have been such a thing lately, and I'm just going to give an award. Even though we're not feeling so good about the last game, it's okay. You can still look good before a game. So today's award for best dressed for their game day fit goes to B-Wags, Uncle Bobby. I had to give it to you. That blue jacket with that green hoodie is just nice and clean with the J's. I gave it to you, Bobby. You're always looking good. So congratulations. I'll give you your plaque in the mail. Dee Dee's not feeling it. Dee Dee was at the game too at the bar, but she was upset. I think we have to remember that this is just a game too. I know people get very emotional about wins and losses, but always know that these people are just people too, and they're human. So we're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. We'll just say this is a bad game, and we'll just brush it under the rug and on to the next. All right, let's talk about some of the other games that happened over the weekend as well. A couple of the teams were in Germany. The Chiefs beat the Dolphins 21-14. I thought that game was going to be a little bit more exciting or a little bit more competitive, but it is what it is. So the Raiders fired their head coach last week, so they have the interim head coach. And then they end up winning 30-6 yesterday against the Giants. The way that they were celebrating in the locker room, I love it. They were celebrating as if they won the Super Bowl. I don't even know where they got those cigars from, but they were smoking those cigars and celebrating. And I just love that for a team, especially the way that their season has been going. They deserve it. And so I hope this kind of turns around for them. Should they be in Oakland still? Yes, but that's a whole nother topic. The Vikings played the Falcons, and it was crazy because they traded for Dobbs, and they traded for Dobbs from the Arizona Cardinals, and Dobbs didn't get even any reps in for a practice, but then he ended up going into the game and winning. Like, that just kind of shows you the kind of quarterback he is, and maybe the match with him in Arizona wasn't a good match, but in Minnesota, it might be a good match for Dobbs. So it'll be kind of exciting to see what he does and how the future is for the Vikings. I don't know, the Bengals and Bills had a really good matchup as well. Daylight savings time messed me up a little bit, and did I fall asleep? Yes, I took a nap, but then I woke up and they won. Which isn't surprising. Joe Burrow looks so good, per usual. Josh Allen looked good too, but I don't know. These Bengals, I think we got to watch out for these Bengals this season. All right, and that's it for Higa's Playbook. Today wasn't very exciting, but don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share to my YouTube channel, and even all of my other social media outlets like Instagram and TikTok. You can follow me on those at HigaFit. Okay, love ya. Bye.